Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 2:20 a.m. on this Sunday night, going into Monday. It's 28 degrees outside. It actually doesn't feel too cold tonight. It's very still, there's no wind. I was gonna actually sleep for an hour tonight and then come vlog, and I just couldn't fall. I laid there forever. Alex was looking at TikToks and I was looking at TikToks, and then he went to bed and we were kind of just laying there talking, and then he kind of rolled over to go to sleep, and I was like, I'm just gonna get up now. And I was like, if I fall asleep now, I won't get up till the morning. And I wanted to vlog tonight. And then I also want to listen to a little bit of my audiobook, Saint X. I started it last night. It's so good, you guys. I may have mentioned this yesterday, in my vlog yesterday, which I got up late. I apologize. Somebody texted me, we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race tonight. Somebody texted me, somebody tweeted me and said, Peter said that if the vlog's not up by 11 o'clock, tell him. And I was like, so thankful. I think I even tweeted back and I said, thank you. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get up in a second during the commercial break. And then the commercial break came and I completely forgot to get up and post a vlog. So I was laying there in bed. I think I posted it at like 12:45 or 1. That's when I came out and I was listening to some music, and I was just listening to Tony Bennett singing Climb Every Mountain. I don't know that I've ever heard Tony Bennett sing Climb Every Mountain before. I don't know if I've ever heard Tony Bennett sing Climb Every Mountain from Sound of Music, but I love that song. And I have my Anthropology lip gloss tonight, is what I am using. So how are you guys doing? Like B. Lucille says, from B. Lucille Tarot Card Readings, how you perkin'? Hope you're perkin' good. You guys, I cannot get the heat straight in here. It's like on 74. I'm gonna turn it down to 72, but it's like on 1, but it's so hot. I don't know why it's so hot in here. Oh, well, I had it on the face and the feet, but then when I put it on the defrost and the feet, it starts getting cold in here. Now, I've also brought with me these Febreze car things that are cranberry. I've had them for a while now, like a couple weeks, if not a month. I got them with Tanya Jean. No, maybe not that long. I can't remember when I got them. But anyway, these are my new favorites. What are they called? The car air fresheners. And I get 2 of the same. I learned a trick. I learned this, I don't know, a while ago. I get 2 of the same scent. You can't smell them until the heat starts moving through it. But I get 2 of the same scent, and then I put one over here. And then one on the other side. I love the smell, though. You guys ever seen these? You just lock them into place, and then you put them in there. And I'm gonna turn the heat on a little bit. What is going on? I can't get it through there. There it goes. Well, it's not going all the way in. Which one do I have it on over there? The third one. There it goes. I'm gonna actually turn the heat on through the front there, so I can start smelling it. So the smell goods can come through. I just got rid of some trash in my car. Now I have more trash. I hate having trash in my car. Ooh, I can smell it right away. Oh, that smells so good. And here's my Diet Coke. I've had my fair share of Diet Cokes today. This is like my 3rd Diet Coke. Maybe my 4th Diet Coke. Isn't that horrible? I'm charging my phone over here, and I brought my camera bag with me tonight that I use, and I have a LaCroix in here, a hibiscus, I think it's a hibiscus LaCroix, yeah, hibiscus, and then I also have an extra battery in here in case I decide that I I don't know how long I want to vlog. Last night was an hour and 45 minutes, you guys. So I don't know how long I'm gonna go tonight. We'll see. Oh, God, it's getting hot in here again. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Are you having a good night? Climb every mountain. So I got up today, slept in. Alex always gets up earlier than I do on Sundays, but we slept in, and then we went to Cafe Patashu, and I had Alex had he had a bowl of turkey chili today and tons of croutons. I actually put a picture up on my Instagram. And then he had the Cuban breakfast, but he brought the majority of it home. And then I had a gluten-free waffle that has like cinnamon and sugar on top of it. It's so good. And like a lot of cinnamon. I don't know if they put sugar on it. I think they do. Sugar, they put cinnamon on it. Yeah, they do put sugar on it too, I'm almost positive. And then I had potatoes, crispy potatoes, which are literally just cut up potatoes, and they're so good, like hash browns, but just cut up potatoes. You know, like your grandma or your mom makes when you're, you know, growing up, like home style potatoes. My favorite are like the stringy hash browns. Like, I love those. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When you go to like, I think, what's the place? Cracker Barrel has those. Oh my God, Cracker Barrel has that hash brown casserole that is so good. So, I had gluten-free waffle, crispy potatoes with ketchup. I had syrup and butter on my waffle. I had a large orange juice, and I had coffee, and I had water, and then I had some fruit too. It was like strawberries and pineapple and some blueberries, and it was delicious, all of it. I didn't finish my fruit, which was the healthiest. Alex he had a piece of pineapple at the end, I think. So anyway, then we came home, and I talked on the phone for a little while, and he was gonna watch TV and stuff, so I just drove around, talked on the phone. And then, what else did I do today? Why can't I think? Oh, then I came home and I made a video on my drama channel. I actually wasn't going to film any videos today, but then I was like, okay, my plan was to film that video, and then while that was uploading, I was going to do a review of these new LaCroix that I got, and then I was going to do a Peterisms video, and those were going to be the 3 videos I posted with my vlog. But by the time I got the drama channel video done, I just was kind of like, Alex was wanting to watch TV and stuff, and so I was just like, I'm taking it all down. And oh, I also got an egg salad sandwich to take home. So he was watching Salt Lake City. Well, first, when he was making his food, heating his food up, he was watching The Real Housewives of Orange County Reunion, the first part 1. Real Housewives of Orange County Reunion, part 1. So I was watching part 1. So I was The Real Housewives of Orange County, part 1. So I was watching it with him. And then, I think part 2 is going to be really good. I think there's only 2 parts, because Alex was like, oh, there's only 2 parts. So anyway, then he wanted to watch Salt Lake City, but I had already watched the first half of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And so I went and talked to my friend on the phone. And then when I came back, I was like, we haven't watched RuPaul's Drag Race yet. And he was like, I know. And so we watched RuPaul's Drag Race, and I made this vegetarian stuffing, and I had my egg salad sandwich and a little bit of some of the stuffing, and it was good. And it was delicious. I did not eat all of it though, which I could have totally, because it was so delicious. And then in my egg salad sandwich with avocado on toasted whole wheat with these like kettle chips it was so good. And we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. That was fun. And then we were both like so tired that we went upstairs, and I I was laying down. I think that's when I realized I hadn't put up my vlog. I was like, oh, I forgot to put up my vlog. I was like, I'm just gonna lay here for a half an hour and then I'll put it up. And at first I set my alarm for 12:25, and then I kept on looking at like all these like TikToks and stuff with Alex. We were both looking at TikToks and showing them to each other. And so then I like set my alarm for like I think I set it for like 1:30. And that was when I was like, I'm just gonna get up. Like, this is silly. Just gonna get up now and vlog. So I did. And now I'm here. And now I'm vlogging. So, hello. How are you? I don't even know what I talked about for so long last night. Isn't that crazy? I really like this. It's kind of like a mix between like cotton candy and bubble gum. I can't even really explain. But then almost kind of like, this is gonna sound so strange, but then almost kind of like powder. I don't even really know. I don't know what the flavor is or anything. I guess I could look, but I think it's pretty. It has like all these sparkles in it. Can you see? That's so pretty. Pretty is as pretty does. Yeah, and then I'm gonna vlog for a while. I think this is gonna be a shorter vlog tonight. Whenever I say that, it always ends up being like ridiculously long. But I think it's gonna be a shorter vlog tonight, and then I'm going to listen to my audiobook for a little bit. And then sleep in tomorrow. Oh, I did a bunch of cameos today too. I'm trying to get caught up. What was I doing on the cameo? I did something like really funny on one of the cameos today. I can't remember what I did. I looked up some song and I was singing some song on, I can't remember what it was now. But anyway. I loved Sound of Music when I was a kid. Actually, speaking of musicals, that was like probably even more so than Annie. I was like obsessed with The Sound of Music, and I was obsessed with the Von Trapp family. I think because it was like, it had really happened, and I was like obsessed with the Von Trapp family. And my aunt, my dad's sister, was like obsessed with them too, and she even named 3 of her kids after people in the movie. After 3 of the kids in the Von Trapp family. Did she name all of her kids? No, 3. 3 out of the 4. Yeah, 3 out of the 4 she named from that movie. And she actually went to, what do you call it? Okay, so I found out that they have like a ski lodge that they bought, like the Von Trapp family. They bought the Von Trapp family singers. Dun 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 dun. I love that at the very end when they're like, the family Von Trapp. Dun 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 dun. I saw it in a theater one time. I think my aunt or my grandma took me. We used to go to this place in Indianapolis called Beef and Boards, and it was like dinner theater. It's real nice. It still exists. They have this church there on Sunday, and they like serve like a full brunch and stuff like that. Isn't that crazy with this church service? That's probably a church I could get behind, but anyway. I'll go to church as long as they serve brunch there. It's so funny because there used to be this meeting that was on Sundays. And I never went to it, but like I knew so many people that wanted to go to this meeting, and the meeting was called something like Serenity Sundays or something, but everybody called it the chicken and waffle meeting because they served chicken and waffles for breakfast. Like they served like a brunch at this place, and they'd have like hash browns and chicken and waffles and donuts and stuff, and like people went to this meeting just because the food was so good. Is that not hilarious? I mean, the meeting I heard was great too, but people would go there. It's like, it still exists. Well, I don't know if it exists now because of like, you know, COVID and stuff like that, because most of the meetings that are like You know what, that one takes place in a church, and almost all of them, well, my home group takes place in a church, so I don't know how that works, but almost all of the meetings in Indianapolis that take place in churches are like not meeting because most of the churches aren't, you know, limited capacity and things like that. I actually have this recovery magazine that I get, and I didn't get it for a long time. Like, I had a subscription to it, and then it ran out. It's just like stories and people's like testaments of like their sobriety, and it's just like, and so like every month there's like a theme, like around the holidays, it's like recovery at the holidays or whatever, but like there's like funny little jokes in the back and stuff, and it's kind of like Reader's Digest, but for like people in sobriety. And I love it. And when I worked in treatment, they always had them like, you know, on the tables for the patients and stuff like that. And then, but you can order them. But like a lot of meetings, they have them at the meetings. You can take them and bring them back and read them if you can't afford it and things like that. Well, recently, I think it was like 2 months ago, I got like a 2-year subscription. I told Tanya I was going to get her one too, but then she never gave me her address. I mean, I know Tanya's I could tell you what street and stuff like that, but I don't know like her specific address with zip code and whatever. So anyway, I was like, you need to send me your address. And, but I bought all of these like books. Like I got one on like emotional sobriety, spirituality and sobriety. I think I got one like being LGBT and sobriety. And then there was like something to do with like old timers, like having 20 plus years in sobriety is considered being an old timer. And so it's like specific stories that have been taken from this magazine over the years that are all combined into these books, right? And so when I ordered those books, I also ordered like a 2-year subscription, and I get so excited when it comes. And it's so funny, it comes in like that black like wrapper, you know, that looks like somebody's getting like a naughty, dirty magazine in the mail. Like, no, it does though. And it's like this sobriety magazine, which I think is so funny. But it's nice, you know, that they keep it anonymous like that. So anyway, I mean, I don't care, but I know that there are a lot of people out there that do. But anyway, I was looking in there because one of my favorite things in the magazine is if you're sober, you'll know what magazine I'm talking about. But anyway, at the beginning of, and please, if you're sober, don't put the name of it. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just don't. Let's just keep it anonymous. But anyway, at the beginning of the magazine, like not right at the beginning, but like the first couple pages, they show, like they usually do like a lead-in story and stuff, I think. But they do, the one I was reading right before, well, I'm not going to say, it doesn't matter. But anyway, as I started reading one right before I left to vlog, but they put these pictures, they'll have like pictures that people send in of like their meeting, not like of people standing around, but just like what their meeting area looks like, right? So like if you met like our home group is in like a church, you know, area. So it'd be like somebody would take a picture of like the meeting, like the chairs in a circle, or however we, you know, now we don't sit in a circle, we sit like 10 feet apart, and then we split up into smaller groups, and then we sit in a circle. But somebody would like take a picture of that, and then they would say like the name of the meeting and where it was, you know, like Indianapolis, Indiana. Like they say the name of the meeting. So it has the picture, the name of the meeting, and then like Indianapolis, Indiana underneath it. And I love to see it because you get to see pictures of meetings from like all over the world. Well, what's really cool that I noticed was, because there's so many meetings, the majority of this magazine like theme was about meetings that can't meet right now. So like people being sober via the internet and things like that, and Zoom calls. So that was like a theme of the magazine. No, the theme was actually about something to do with women in recovery. But a lot of the things that were inside were talking about like how to get sober. Well, there's always like a headlining story, so that was that. But a lot of the stories were about like how to get sober and being sober during this time when, with COVID and stuff like that. But at the beginning of the magazine is where the pictures are, and I was looking through there, and it was interesting because it was mostly pictures. I think they were all pictures of like outside areas. I think there was only one that wasn't, maybe. I don't even remember, I'm thinking. But one was like a beach. Maybe two. One was a beach like in Michigan, one was like a beach in Florida, and it was like you could see the chairs set up, and it was like one was a candlelight meeting, a campfire meeting. One was, and I was like, I wish we had meetings like, I don't know any meetings like that are outside like campfire meetings. I think that would be so much fun. This one meeting that I used to go to, they had the capability to have like a bonfire, and we had talked about doing that, but it never happened, so. But anyway, I just think it's really cool that sobriety, like, pushes forward and, you know, transforms into something different, depending on, like, technology and where we are and things like that. I just think it's super cool. So anyway, I wanted to read some comments tonight. Please let me get into this. Let me reset the auto lock to never, so that it'll just stay on, and then let me get my glasses. Dun, 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 dun. Do you guys like when I read the comments, or do you not? Could you care less for the comment reading? I know some people are like, you read my comment. So some people seem to like it. I don't know. Let me know. Okay, let's get into the vlog. Well, 448, well, 528 on the back end. So, like, it'll show you, like, what the number is on YouTube, but then on the back end, you can actually see how many people have really watched it. So, like, on YouTube, it shows 448, 26 comments, 61 likes, and 3 dislikes. But then on the back end, it says it's actually 428 people have liked it, or have watched it. So, which is interesting, because then it shows you what your average, your typical is, like in that time frame of, like, right now it's been up for 1 hour and 31 minutes. So when did I post it? 1:41. Yeah, like right after 1 o'clock. ShareBear said, even if you plan on never having kids, why would you throw away your mom's sacred items? When you get older, you would probably regret it. You would probably regret giving it away to people who don't have any attachment. You know, it's an interesting question. Okay, so this is part of the problem. So I go back and forth, right? I have like a box that's small of stuff of my mom's that, like, I will never throw away. And there are certain things that I have that really mean a lot to me, like, that remind me of my mom. Like, for example, like this leather and chrome chair and ottoman that we have in our bedroom. Like, that always reminds me of my mom. There's certain artwork in my house that always reminds me of my mom, pictures and things like that, that I would never get rid of those things, right? But, like, there's a lot of things in the basement that, like, I really have no, like, attachment to. But, like, I would want somebody to get some enjoyment out of that, like if I went over to my cousin's house and David had it, like my mom's guitar, like I was talking about, that it would be like, oh, well, David gets to enjoy it. It's not like I ever pull it out and, like, strum it or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. And so the stuff is literally just sitting there, and it's like, what's the point? And, like, I would say, like, 90% of it is stuff that I have no emotional attachment to. It's, like, stuff that, like, I don't look at it and I think, like, oh, that was my mom's, like, I mean, my mom, I know for a fact, because she used to say stuff like, one day I'm just gonna go through that basement and throw everything away, because she had no attachment to a lot of the things. I'm just honestly holding on to a lot of it out of laziness. And so, if they were things that were, like, super sacred to my mom, then yeah, I would hold on to them probably, because they would have some meaning that I would want to, I mean, I have enough attachment to things that I would want to hold on to that. But here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so what am I going to do with, like, this item when I get older? Like, I'm already older. I'm 48, right? Like, when I'm, like, 70 or 80, like, let's just say if it's, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to honestly think of what's down there. Okay, like a pair of, like, pewter candlestick holders, right? Like, what am I going to do with those when I'm 80? Just hold them and look at them? I don't want them in my house. They don't fit anywhere, right? And they didn't mean, I mean, my mom wasn't like, give me my pewter candlestick holder. She didn't, I mean, like, they're just sitting there. And so they're, like, in this bin, and I'm like, okay, this is a bin of my mom's stuff that, honestly, was going to give to my aunt at some point, but then my aunt passed away. Caroline's got more stuff than she wants. I do need to go through it and see, like, what are things that maybe Caroline would want. But I know if I called her up, Caroline would say, I've got enough. Like, I don't need anything else. So the things I give away to, like, David is having an interest, and so I feel like it kind of like I think that he would go on and, like, when he has kids and be like, well, this was my aunt's, and, you know, this is, because he remembers my mom. He remembers, like, everything about her. And, like, he would say, you know, this was my aunt's, and this was my grandma's, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like he would pass that on. Which, that does mean something to me, right? But if I don't, then it's just gonna sit in a box, and when I'm gone, you know, if I pass away before Alex, like, he's just gonna get rid of the stuff, because it doesn't have any meaning to him. And so, which, rightfully so, like, why would he hold on to that stuff, you know? And, so, you know, it's like, you just get to a point where you're like, you start realizing that a lot of the stuff that you have is just stuff, right? Like, even my stuff that used to, like, I have a lot of stuff that used to mean something to me. It just doesn't mean the same thing to me anymore. I don't know. I don't know where my opinion changed about all that stuff. Like, I kind of feel like that about books anymore. It's like, I've been saving these graphic novels I've been reading, and I was like, well, I want to put them on, like, this bookshelf and whatever, but, like, and it was funny because this booktuber that I've, like, I don't think he makes videos as much anymore, but I followed him for a long time. He used to, like, collect books like nobody's business. He had, like, all these bookshelves over his bedroom. It was, like, over this, like, bed and everything. I mean, he had thousands of books, you know? Hundreds, if not thousands of books. And it was funny because he posted something, I think it was on Twitter, he posted on Twitter, and it was, like, 2019, and he showed, like, this picture of, like, he had all of these books, you know, in these bookshelves. And then he showed, like, 2020, and it was like one bookshelf, and then 2021, it was like literally he had like 50 books, and they were like his favorite books, and he had them like underneath his like TV thing. I think like that's a new thing on BookTube too, is like I don't see people holding on to books the way that they used to, you know, and I kind of feel like once I've read a book, typically, I mean, there's only some books out. I mean, I probably, in all honesty, only have 20 books. Maybe 30 that really have any kind of like huge, like the physical book has any kind of like emotional meaning to me that I would never give it up. Other than that, most of the books, even if they profoundly affected me as a book, I probably will never read again. So why am I holding on to it, right? To take up space, because books take up a lot of space. So the other thing is I thought like to donate them to libraries, because I try to do that, then people can enjoy those books for free. You know, a lot of the books that I have, you can't get in a library, and then there's a copy in the library, hopefully, you know, or somebody can buy it for cheaper stuff. So I don't know, I kind of go back and forth. I mean, it's a good question, Cher Bear. I kind of go back and forth with the whole, like, holding on to stuff and getting rid of it, and I know, like, this is the other thing, too. Like, if my mom was here, I can tell you, I know how my mom was. Because she used to say stuff. She'd be like, I just want to move to Florida. Like, she would say, I want to move to Florida. Like, if you've ever had this thought, tell me. Because I've had this thought, right? She's like, I just want to move to Florida, and I want to get rid of all of my furniture, she would even say her, like, artwork. She'd say all of my paintings, all this depressing stuff. And then she would say, and I just want to get, like, all, like, you know, like white leather furniture and white floors and white like wispy curtains, and I just want to wear like jeans and khaki shorts and like linen dresses and just everything be like white, khaki, and black, and I just want everything simple in my life, and I don't want a bunch of crap. Like, she used to say that, like, she really wanted to like minimalize her life, you know? So I think like my mom, I think honestly she would be like, you know, I talk about that Oprah where that woman, like, her daughter was murdered when she was, like, 18, and it's been, like, 10 years, and she hasn't changed her room at all. Like, it looks exactly like the day that she walked out of there. And Dr. Phil asks her, he's like, would your daughter, like, what would she say if she knew that you hadn't, like, changed your room or thrown anything away? And she's like, oh, she would be very upset with me. I don't think my mom would be upset with me, but I think she would be like, Peter, it's time for you to get rid of this stuff. Like, you need to enjoy your life. Like, this is your life, right? And you need to get rid of this stuff. Listen, I'm gone. Move on. Enjoy your life. I truly, truly know that my mom, I don't have to think. Like, I know that she would say that. She would be like, this is from 30 years ago. Why are you holding on to this pan? You know what I mean? Like, get rid of it. And so then it becomes just an issue of, I probably have, like, I have this small box, and then I have like a bigger container, you know, plastic container of things that I want to keep of my mom, plus the pictures. That's like really it. Other than that, like nothing really has any emotional meaning to me. So then it's like getting rid of all of this stuff, right? Because I have it pretty much like organized. It's gonna stop any second here. Hold on just a second. Stop. Okay, I'm back. I had to arrange the camera in the, I always want to call it the jelly bean, the bean bag. Anyway, I'm back. So the thing is this, is like, I get so tired of talking about this basement, you guys, so we'll just like speed it up real quick. But like the basement is like this organized mess. You know, I know people are like dying to see the basement. You guys, it's really nothing exciting to see, okay? It's concrete walls and it's concrete floors and unfinished walls, and like, you know, you can see the pipes and stuff hanging down, and there's a washer and dryer down there. And then there's just like this big desk, and there's an L-shaped couch, and there's just crap sitting on all of it, you know? And then to the left, there's like all these boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes. And I got to go through all of it, you know, and I just don't want to. And a lot of it is like, a lot of it is just stuff that it just doesn't mean anything to me. But then the other thing is like, I have 10 plus boxes of books down in the basement. I have one box of my mom's books that I still haven't gone through. And it's a big box, and it's like old like college textbooks and books that she had in college and graduate school and stuff like that. But they're like all falling apart. And I don't really think anybody would want them. But then I have a hard time, like, I can't throw a book away. You know, it's like, no matter how much I would love to throw a book away, and there have been many books that I would love just to throw right in the trash, you know, I still, like, donate it to the library or something, because I feel like, or put it in one of those drop boxes, because I feel like there's somebody out there that will enjoy this book. You know, even if I didn't, I'm just one person, if I didn't enjoy this book, somebody will, right? So even though these books are like tattered and falling apart and stuff like that, I have such a hard time just like throwing them away, you know what I mean? But I don't think anybody will take them, and even if I donate them to the library, I don't even think they would take them, so I don't know. But, so I have all these boxes that I have to take to like the library, and then to Goodwill, the ones that the library doesn't want or whatever, you know. Goodwill and what's half-price books, and it's like I have to carry them all up to the car, you know, and they're real heavy. And then I have all these VCR movies and DVDs, and it's like anything you want to watch you can stream or look up and buy anymore, right? So it's why I have all of that stuff, but like I just don't want to throw it away, because some of these movies that I have are movies that I've had forever. It's like and really I was thinking about this, like the only things that I would really probably throw away are like, that I wouldn't, not throw away, but like donate, are like movies that like meant something to me and Alex, or like me and my mom, or like I have like box sets of TV shows, like Absolutely Fabulous, and I have the Anna Nicole Smith show, I have All the Simple Lives, like I would never get rid of those. But but like I can't even remember the last time that I watched a DVD. Like Tanya still gets DVDs from the Redbox, like everything I stream, like I can't even remember. So what's the point in keeping all that? I don't know. You know, and then I think, well, maybe I'd have a TV, and down here, you know, when I get it all redone, I see how my head works. It's stupid. So I just need to go down there and get all this stuff done. In fact, actually, speaking of Tanya, I was telling Tanya the other day, I was like, if I could just have, you know, a dumpster in my, is that what they're called? Dumpsters? In my driveway or in my yard, I could get this stuff done in 2 weeks. So just carry it up, throw it away, carry it up, throw it away, right? And, because, you know, I've heard of those, like, dumpsters that you can get that are, like, collapsible, you know, that you pay, like, they're not too expensive, like, I think, like, I think somebody said $150 you can get one, and they can, like, they sit in your driveway or your yard or whatever, and they're collapsible. So, you know, I thought, like, I could, get one of those or whatever, you know, but per HOA, we're not even allowed to have those. So even if we could put it in our driveway, then Alex and I we couldn't use the garage, and we couldn't use the driveway. So we would have to both park on the street, and they don't like that, right? Which means if I got a huge dumpster, which I really can't afford, I mean, because those are like, aren't those really expensive? I'd have to put it down by the pool or down by the gate, which then what's the point? Because I can't just walk out and throw it away. It's like I have to like put the stuff in the car, drive, you know what I mean? It's just, the whole thing is stupid. So anyway, we'll get it taken care of one of these days, you know? So anyway, okay, let's go up here, see if there's any new comment. Oh, there's quite a few new comments. Okay. Kim said 41 seconds ago, I love your super long vlogs. I'm not a big talker, but I love listening to friends talk with a heart. Oh, thank you. Bernie said, you are definitely a Peter. Oh my God. Am I? I guess. I love the name Peter. I really do. And she put blue heart and a smiley face. Thank you. Gigi said, every time you say Boo Radley, my dog lifts his head and looks at me. My dog's name is Mr. Arthur Radley, nicknamed Boo. So Boo Radley in the book and movie To Kill a Mockingbird's real name was Arthur Radley. That is adorable. I kind of like the name Arthur for a dog. I think Robbie from Robbie Reads, I think his dog is named, and it's like, he is like some kind of like fox terrier. It's like this white like terrier. I think his name is his dog's name Arthur? He always posts stuff about it on Instagram. I could probably go there and look right now. Hold on a second. Robbie, his dog is the cutest dog in the entire world. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of his dog. No. Oh, there he is. Is it Oscar or Arthur? He's not named, putting his, oh, Arthur, here, he has a whole tab on it. Yeah, he's like a really sweet dog. I don't know if you can, well, it's not showing up, but anyway. Arthur, I love that name for a dog. I might name a dog Arthur. Let me get back into the comments. So Gigi, I might name my next dog Arthur. That's cute. She said, I had a ton of albums. I gave them to my daughter after my husband died. Aww. I can't listen to music anymore. It just makes me so sad. Oh, Gigi, I'm sorry. Oh. Rachel said, hey, Peter, I'm hoping... Oh, okay. She said, hey, Peter, I'm hoping you're doing okay emotionally considering the horrible mass shooting in your area Sunday morning. Please take care of yourself and maybe vlog in your driveway tonight instead of cruising around. Who knows what you may encounter. You're in my prayers. Thank you. I wasn't affected by it at all. I didn't even know what happened until... It was so weird. So I follow like a couple like local news stations, and I came home last night and I was sitting on the couch and I was like kind of just like going through Twitter before I went to bed. And I read this article that was like, well, somebody had posted, it was like 7 dead in Indianapolis, like after 3 a.m. And I was like, what is going on? And so I like read this article and it was like 3 or 4 people had come into hospitals with like shooting situations. And then there was like this guy that they found like walking down the street, and they took him to the hospital. And then they went to where he was, and it was a house, and they found like 3 or 4 people dead there from shootings. And it was like, I can look it up in a second. I don't know anything more about it than that, but it's tragic. Indianapolis is getting kind of like violent. Yeah, but thank you, Rachel, for that. But it's scary. Shauna said, it's actually super early Monday morning currently while we're watching this, and I'm at work, and this is the perfect run time so I can get things done. Oh, yay. Well, smiley face. Gina said, love you, Peter. Love you too, Gina. Lynn said, I love these. Heart, red heart, red heart. They are perfect time for bed, and my 6-month-old loves you so much. He can't go to sleep to anything else. Oh, and there's Share Bear's comment. And then Kelly said, did I read Kelly's comment already? I have your book and I loved it. Oh, thank you, Kelly. And then, Chris put 3, a yellow heart, a green heart, and an orange heart. Lana put 3 red hearts. Magic Me said, she's all over the place tonight. Peter, I wonder what happened to Mom's guitar. Me, it's down in your basement. Peter, and then I was down in my basement. Me, Jana Nicole said, you have so many stories. She meant to say you have so many stories and great encounters with others I inspired to one day. I feel like I've read some of these comments. I may have read them to myself. Be totally free to interact with and be my extra fun-loving self. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. I didn't get there overnight. Maravana, hey! She said, hi, Peter. I would love to hear more about you wanting to go into fashion and how close you got. Yeah, I can talk about that in just a second when I start driving around. Diva said, excited to hear this vlog. This has become my bedtime ritual listening to you, Peter. So relaxing and such a different Peter from your drama channel, which I love, by the way. But I listen every night with my earbuds. So relaxing. Oh, thank you so much. Tori said, my car was stolen out of my driveway last Monday. Oh my God. If you guys could please say a prayer for me that it comes back to me. I will definitely say a prayer for you. That is horrible. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's see some comments from... Emily said, how am I doing? So happy to see you. And we get a long vlog. Yes! I was like, what is she talking about? Okay, so Lisa said, oh my God, Peter, I wanted to be WW. And I was like, what is WW and Wonder Woman? Wanted to be Wonder Woman. So Lisa said, oh my God, Peter, I wanted to be Wonder Woman so bad as a little girl. We took Pringles cans, cut the top few inches off, covered them in aluminum foil for the bracelets. Oh my God, that's perfect. My mom took the Burger King crowns we used to get back in the day, and she manipulated DIY'd them to look like WW headpieces. I was Diana Prince in my mind. Oh, and I was in love with Lyle Wagner. That's hilarious. Was Lyle Wagner was, who was that? Who was the Bionic Man? I had the Bionic Man doll when I was growing up, and his chest came off and it would show you all the insides of all that stuff. Who played the Bionic Man? I've got to look that up now because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't. Bionic Man. Or was it the $6 Million Man? What's the difference? Who played actor? Who was Lee Majors? How could I forget that? Okay, let's get a couple more comments. Lisa, I love that story. Clarissa said, I've got hair dye sitting and hoping for a good result. This is perfect. I am hoping for a good result for you too. Let's go down here. Tori said, if the battery in your key fob is dying, that's why. That's why what? Could you tell me what that's referencing so I know what like the battery in my key fob is dying? I wonder if that's true. It could be. Ambrosia, I love that name, said, Peter, it's funny you mentioned Wes. I just started watching his vids. Oh, Wes from High Falutin Low Carb. He is such a nice guy, you guys. He just texted me yesterday. He is so nice. And his sense of humor always reminds me of you. He really does seem like a genuine guy. He is like a genuinely one of the nicest people like I literally have ever, like he doesn't even cuss or anything. Like he's so nice. He's such a good person. Summer put 3 blue hearts, T97. See, now you have me wondering what that means. Elizabeth, hey Elizabeth, blue hearts times 1,000. Liza said, Peter, every time you drive at night, I'm always scared something spooky is going to happen, like someone will jump out at you or a car will follow you. LOL, please be careful. Okay, you know what's interesting is, there was one time on here, and this was not too long ago, that I think I was followed. And I didn't say anything about it at the time because I was kind of like, where it started and where it ended, it was real skeptical. I was like, I wonder if this is somebody that like watches my vlog. And so I didn't say anything about it like at the time. But I'm very careful of that stuff, so. But thank you. I'm like trying to go down to some comments over from like yesterday. Marissa said, my closest Starbucks is like that too with the weird hours. I really don't know what's going on. It makes me sad. I need to text Josh and ask him what's going on. Serena said, Peter, I want to read your book, but it says it's unavailable on Amazon, which is good because on eBay it's like $9,000 or something. Don't buy it. I loved my book, but it's not worth it. Linda said, Peter said it was out of print. However, it seems like he read it on one of his channels, maybe on his book club. And then Serena said, thank you. On my BookTube channel this summer, I read the entire thing. Like, I would read like 2 or 3 chapters at a time. So it's like, I think over like 6 videos, I read the whole book or something like that. It's out of print currently. When my next book, whenever that is, comes out, it will be with that. It will come out again. Kind of like a revamped version of it. Shelly said, I live in southern Indiana, literally 2 miles from the Ohio River and dam. When it gets cold, it sucks because it gets windy too. And the breeze off the river is brutal sometimes. Like, Indiana isn't like, I mean, like the other night was cold, but other than that, it hasn't been like that bad of a winter already. And we're almost at February. It's weird, isn't it? Honeymoon. Ooh, I love that name. Said, and your profile picture is so pretty. She said, the same thing happens to me if I eat. Like, there's some people on here, you guys, that like I know their profile picture, like Linda and Elizabeth. Like, there's Melissa Galloway. Like, there's so many people on here, like Elise, that have like JD, that I've watched this for so long that like when I see your profile picture, like I know it like immediately. Tammy, she hasn't left a comment, but I know hers because she comments like every vlog. Lana comments every night. I mean, there's so many people that, I mean, and most of you I do know by now when I like read your comments, because you'll say something and I'm like, oh. Tara said, Peter, you definitely need a tiny microphone. I agree. C6797 said, I make my pizza rolls in my air fryer. They are so good. I make everything in the air fryer. It's more convenient than starting the oven. I don't even really know if I know what an air fryer is. Do I need to get one? Everybody talks about an air fryer. I was talking to somebody. Is it like a microwave, kind of? Oh my God, they're so expensive, you guys. They're like $200 at Target. Do you know what is funny? Is I think we got one as a wedding gift, and we never wanted to use, that was a deep fryer. We got a deep fryer, like a huge deep fryer for our wedding. And we didn't, like, we had it for like 2 or 3 years. And it was like the one gift that we had never used. We have a couple gifts that we haven't used, like some of the things we've saved until we redo our kitchen. And we have some bedding that some people gifted us that was like really, really nice. That like, I mean, really nice. That we're like holding on to that. I don't, like when we get our bedroom redone, I guess. I don't know. Did you guys do that with any of your wedding gifts? But we ended up giving that deep fryer to Alex's mom because she actually, like, with a lot of the food she makes, she uses a deep fryer. They all do. So since we don't cook, we gave it to her. Janice said, my local Starbucks has been closing at 2 p.m. Also, I think they are having staffing issues. Well, it's always, I don't know if that's the issue with mine or not, but like, whenever I catch them when I go through there and they're still open, there literally feels like there's 10, if I break these glasses, I'm gonna be bitter. There seems like there's like 10 people running around inside. And then the line is always full. So I'm like, what's the deal that they're closing so early? But I did see this Veronica. I love that song back in the day, by the way. Why can't I think of what his name is? That sings it with the black glasses. Oh, I can't think of, who sings that song? That's gonna kill me. It's gonna drive me crazy now if I don't look it up. As soon as I see it, I'm going to remember it. I loved his music. I know somebody's like shouting it out right now. A song. Veronica. Elvis Costello. Did you ever see the movie 200 Cigarettes? He was in that movie. I loved Martha Plimpton back in the day. Did you guys ever, she was like the lead in that movie. Well, there wasn't really a lead. It was like all these people and like what they were doing on New Year's Eve in New York City. Did you ever see it? If you've never seen the movie 200 Cigarettes, get it. It is fantastic. Which I never understood why they called it 200 cigarettes. 200 cigarettes is the amount of cigarettes in a carton of cigarettes. I wonder why they called that movie 200 cigarettes. I should look that up right now. Shouldn't I? Why was 200 cigarettes called 200 cigarettes? Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, Guillermo Diaz. What happened to him? Paul Rudd, Kate Hudson, Martha Plimpton, Christina Ricci, Gabby Hoffman. Oh, she was so good in it. Vogue magazine, 2015. Why 200 Cigarettes is still the best New Year's Eve movie ever. How 200 Cigarettes achieved cult status despite terrible reviews. That's such a great movie. Is 200 Cigarettes available to stream? We're gonna find out right now. In the movie, which is set in New York City in 1981, a woman named Monica, Martha Plimpton, is throwing a New Year's Eve party at her East Village apartment. As she panics about no one showing up, her various guests, this is the funniest part of the whole movie. As she panics about no one showing up, her various guests make their way to her bash. They include Paul Rudd, sporting some impressive mutton chops, as Kevin, a guy despondent over his breakup with his artist girlfriend, Janine Garofalo. Love plays Lucy, Kevin's best friend. Oh, Courtney Love. She is so good in it. Richie and Gabby Hoffman are Val and Steffi. They are so funny, you guys. A pair of Long Island teens who get lost in the city on their way to the party, while Dave Chappelle makes an appearance as a smooth-talking cabbie. Ben Affleck is a conceited bartender. The rest of the cast includes Jay Moore, Casey Affleck, Kate Hudson, Nicole Ari Parker, and Elvis Costello as himself. Despite negative reviews, 200 Cigarettes has achieved something of a cult status, in part due to its costumes, which were designed by Susan Lyell, who also created the costumes in Empire Records, as well as its star-studded cast. In an interview with ID, I love that movie, ID, or that magazine. Is that the magazine back in the day? Lyell explained that Susan Lyell, in an interview with ID, Lyell explained that she turned to legendary NYC vintage store trash and vaudeville, other thrift and vintage shops, designer Betsy Johnson's archive, and her own closet to create the memorable looks for each character in the film. She also found style inspiration in photographer Nan Goldin's 1986 book, The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, which captured people in the East Village looking for love, messed up in SHI Toot apartments, and wearing vintage coats, she explained. The costumes even threatened to cause a bit of drama between two cast members, Lyell recalled. In the makeup trailer, Courtney Love saw a continuity photo of Christina Ricci, who was also in a red dress, although very, very different, and was outraged. She said, "The fact is, they were never in the same frame ever, and as I explained to her at the time, Val was someone aspiring to be like her Lucy character, but lacking Lucy's sartorial panache." You can't stream 200 Cigarettes. Perhaps adding to 200 Cigarettes' status as a cult film is that it's almost impossible to watch these days. The movie isn't available to stream anywhere. That may be due to its extensive soundtrack, which includes songs by Blondie, The Go-Go's, The Cars, The Ramones, and more. Well, guess what? Not only is it impossible to stream 200 Cigarettes, but it's hard to come by on DVD. Copies of the movie sell for more than $200 on Amazon. However, the movie is available to rent from Netflix DVD. Girl, I got that movie in my basement. You know I have that movie in my basement. See, this was the reason why I did it. I'm going down there. I'm looking to see what other movies are worth $200 on eBay. I'm going to sell all those movies and I'm going to buy a new house or something. Oh, that is one thing. Excuse me. Let me get out of my comments. That is one thing I wanted to say in talking about, like, getting rid of my mom's stuff. Oh, wait, I have a new comment. Okay. Andrea said, "I think you'd make a cool Noah. Thank you. But my name's Peter." I wish I could go back. I guess I don't know what I would change it to. I used to always want to be a Max. Is that not so funny? Or I wanted to change my name just to, like, Alex, which is so funny because my middle name is Alexander. She said, "I think you make a cool Noah. LOL, with Y2K, we had a brand new baby. I was partially nursing and partially bottle feeding, so we pre-boiled 2 huge jugs of water for his bottles, had flashlights in the whole 9 yards ready. We were so scared, all for nothing, LOL." I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, all of that was going on. It was crazy. So anyway, is that all she said? Is that the last comment? That's the last comment. All right, what was I gonna just say about my basement? Something about my basement. I don't know. I totally just forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna start telling a story, and then I did that with the comments again. I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna buy a new house. Oh, here, I just tracked back my thought. Do you ever do that? Do you ever go back in your thoughts and you track them back, and then you're like, okay, you figure it out? So, ow, dang nation. I thought I cut my finger on the zipper on my bag, but I didn't. Okay. So this is something that, like, this was this realization that I came to not long ago. And I know this is kind of going to sound, like, silly to some people, but, like, when we redo our house, like, it is our house, it's our condo, but, like, it looks a lot still like my mom's condo when we, like, literally walked in and moved in, because, and I was living there some nights anyway before Alex moved in there, but, like, only like 2 or 3 nights. I want the condo, like, I want Alex to feel like it's his, you know? And so whatever he wants to do with the condo, I mean, not whatever, we'll negotiate, you know what I mean? But, like, I want him to feel like the place is, he made 50 to 60% of the decisions or whatever. And so for so long, I was like, I'm holding on to this, I'm holding on to that. He made some comment about me never being really willing to get rid of his secretary desk. And it takes up, like, a lot of room. And we don't use it for anything but storage. Like, we just have stuff in the drawers, and we have, like, DVDs and books, like, in the shelves of it. But, like, other than that, it takes up, like, so much room. And Alex is like, well, you'll never get rid of that. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I literally have no emotional attachment to the secretary desk. Like, none whatsoever. Like, even when I was growing up, it's like that secretary desk meant nothing to me. It was literally a piece of furniture in our living room, like, that I hardly ever went in there except for at Christmas time, because it's where we kept our Christmas tree. I think I shared this already on there. And it would be folded open, the desk, and then my mom would have, like, a candle, and then she would have, like, a, you know, like, nice stationery with, like, a pen, like somebody was gonna sit down there. And actually the chair that used to be the secretary desk is now in the kitchen. It's the chair that's, like, has the cool fabric on it in the kitchen. So the chair that goes with the secretary desk isn't even there. And I was sitting there looking one night, and I was like, why, like, what is in my head that tells me that I, like, can't get rid of that stuff? And I was like, I want to start fresh in here, you know, like Alex and I to pick out all of this stuff. And my mom, she would, like, I know if she was alive, she'd be like, you guys enjoy the condo, you make it yours, you do your own thing, right? So part of it has been lack of funds through the years to go and get all new stuff. I mean, some of the stuff is, like, that we've bought is new, or, I mean, most of the furniture that we have in there is not furniture that was my mother's. And the TV is completely, I mean, I don't even know where her TV is that she had in there now, but, like, those are our TVs and everything. So everything's, you know, mostly different, but it's like the setup is still kind of the same a little bit. And I want that to all, I want the, you know, the paint colors on the walls to be different, and, you know, just move everything around and all that kind of stuff. And I was sitting there and I was thinking one night, and I was like, you know, like, my mom, when I came over there a lot, we spent a lot of time on the patio, her back patio. We would just sit out there, she would make dinner, we would eat out there, you know, we would have, like, lemonade and iced tea and stuff. I've never been a big iced tea drinker, but she would make iced tea or whatever, and we would sit on the back patio. And, like, when I would, you know, come over there, I would always meet her at the front door, and I would, like, I loved the walkway, because she had these huge hostas and all these kinds of things, you know, out there. And I thought, you know what, like, I'm never gonna change the patio. Like, we can't. Like, realistically, like, if we wanted, our neighbors just wanted to do some construction to their patio, and supposedly, like, you have to get the condos on either side to approve it. Like, they wanted to, like, glass it in and make it like a room, and I was, like, completely like, do what you want to do. And, like, the other condo on the other side of them was like, yeah, do what you want to do. And the homeowners association said, no, you can't do it, because it would go out, like, 3 inches farther than where they're at. So I know if they couldn't get theirs approved, we won't be able to get ours approved. And that was always one thing I wanted to do, was make that like a glass, like, room in the back, you know, and then put a patio out, but it can only go so far. All these rules, these HOAs, you guys, I tell you. So anyway, the back patio, other than, like, if we ever got new furniture, which we're not going to do that anytime soon, because we just got new furniture like 2 years ago and we love it. So was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? But, like, we love our patio furniture out there. And I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, I want to get all these big greenery plants and stuff out there, and then for the summer, and then we're going to have the landscaping professionally done. It stopped. Alex is like, I don't care what you do. He's like, I just want it to look nice. He was like, you can get everything pulled out and just put rocks down there, but I don't want to do that, because it just looks like, right now we literally have, like, one plant on one side and one plant on the other side, like one little hosta, and it just looks barren. So I want to get, like, 4 Korean boxwoods coming up on either side, and then in the back I want to get some bushes that'll grow up and kind of, like, hide. and we have to get this approved by the HOA too, and so it'll kind of hide the patio a little bit, you know, so that we have a little privacy from our neighbors and which we have these isolation walls, but it's not going to happen the first year, but you know, over a period of a couple years, it'll like kind of hide it a little bit. So I thought, well, we'll do that or do something, you know, and then it'll also be nicer out there. It'll be prettier, you know, and I want to have some like, because right now we have like, from the patio going down into the yard where the dogs go, we have like, probably like 10 just random like stones, like big stones, and kind of like this, so that when you walk down, you walk into these stones, and then it's like this little path out. I really want to like get some of those interchanging, like, you know, stones that like go out to the yard. So it's like, we have really nice stuff behind our patio. We have nice patio furniture, big greenery out there, some beautiful plants and flowers. And then, you know, like that will never change. Like the front walk and the back patio will never look different than it does now. Even if we still have the condo 20 or 30 years from now, will never look any different. And that's always going to be a piece that I can like sit out there and like look at the backyard, and it will always remind me of my mom, you know? And my mom was somebody that would have meant more to her than any piece of furniture, you know? And so I find a lot of solace in that, and I'm really happy about that. They are salting the roads again. It apparently snowed this morning. I missed it, Alex said, but it apparently snowed this morning. So I don't know. It's more like being in the presence out there of like, you know, my mom or whatever, you know, just like, I don't know, I find some solace in that, you know, and some serenity and peace in that will never change. And I'm totally fine. See, they're salting the roads. There it is right there. And we can change everything else inside. I will tell you, you know, now that we're actually saving some money, and the reality is, I mean, it's probably, we're like within a year of us redoing the condo, I'm like getting really excited. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have like literally, I mean, we have the worst shower, you guys, in the world. And I'm like, we're gonna have one of those showers that you just like walk into, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so excited because we're gonna make our upstairs closet smaller. It's gonna go like around. It's gonna be more like a corner kind of thing. And then, cause there's like so much room in our bathroom that we don't need. And we've got some exciting stuff that we're gonna do. So, we're gonna have like this huge like walk-in shower. We're gonna like, it's gonna be like double the size, and it's gonna be like, you know, we wanna do like some kind of like tiling to it that's really neat. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about us having like a huge vanity area that we can use. We're having the bathtub taken out. I don't know what we're gonna do with that bathtub instead. I'd like to have a bigger bathtub, but Alex is like, do you really think that you would use a bathtub? And I'm like, yeah, I think I would use a bathtub. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I think I might take a bath, you know, with Lush bath bombs or whatever, Ulta bath bombs or so forth. You know, I mean, I used to enjoy taking baths, and I just haven't. Our bathtub upstairs doesn't work because it was leaking underneath, and so I haven't been able to take a bath because of all of that. I actually said to Alex, until we get the bathroom done, I want to get some plants and put them in the bathtub in the bathroom. I thought that would be really cool. And he was like, I don't know if I like that look. So I'm still working on that one. I want to get some big plants in the bathroom because I think it would be pretty in there, you know, kind of like, you know, kind of bohemian and artsy and stuff. But anyway, I'm really excited about redoing the whole condo. I wish to God I had like, you know, just unlimited funds that I could just say, come in here and just scrap it and redo everything, you know, just like take everything out and redo the whole thing. But there's like some areas that like don't need a lot done. You know, like our bedroom doesn't really need anything done to it, except for, we can't extend our closet. That's like one of the things, because it's right next to the stairway. So there's nothing else that we can do to the closet. But Alex wants one of those, like, this will be one of the things that we do, because I want this too. Those professional, what do you call it? Like, you know when you have like those California closets and they come out and they like build out the closets for you? Like Alex really, really wants that, and I want that too. So we're gonna do that at some point. This hat is like itching my head. I'm gonna take it off. No, I'm not going to. I look horrible without it off. So we're gonna do that when we redo it. But like other than that, we just need like the walls painted. We need the picture put up, and we need new furniture. That's it in the bedroom, you know? So there's not a whole lot to do with the bedroom. And then downstairs, The kitchen needs to be done. The downstairs bathroom needs to be redone. The basement needs to be completely rehauled. The living room, all we really need to do down there, Alex wants to do some major like structural changes, but we're unaware until we get a contractor if we can actually do those things or not. We want to like take out this, you know, where I film the videos and there's like that area right there, like behind me looking into the kitchen. We want to have all of that taken out so that it's one great big room. And then we would have like a built-in, you know, like when I'm filming my videos in the kitchen and beside me there's that chair, do you know what I'm talking about, that always has like boxes and stuff? All of that would be taken out, and then where that kind of like where that chair is, like from the kitchen going into the living room, we would have like one of those big kind of like islands that's built in, looking into the living room with like stools on the other side, so that it would be like this huge great room, because I love the stone fireplace, but we would have like this big great room. The kitchen and everything would just be open. So you just kind of like, when you walked into our condo, you kind of like go down like 10 feet and then it would just open into this big great room that was like the kitchen to the right, and the kitchen would seem bigger and everything. Alex really wants to do that, but we don't know structurally if we can do that with a condo. So we need to get, I would love to do that too, but we need to get a contractor. And then you're starting to talk about huge amounts of money, and we don't have that right now. So we're just saving a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, in all honesty, like not traveling last year helped us, because we were able to save all the money that I would have loved to have traveled, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we saved all of that money, you know, so that was good. Mel and I always talk about when we can get together again. I had such a fun time out there when I went to go visit her. It seems so weird that, you know, I'm coming up on a year of that. And it's like, I can remember like when we flew out there, because, you know, Alex flew out to Arizona, and then he flew from Arizona to San Diego. And I remember when we went out there, people were kind of talking about the mask thing and stuff, but like really nobody had masks on. And I mean, it was just not a thing. And hand sanitizer was a big thing, but I remember like masks, like you'd only see like 1 out of like 30 people having a mask on. And then I remember when we came back, it was like maybe 1 in 15 people had a mask on. I don't even think it was 1 in 30. I think it was like, it was very few people that had a mask on. And that was, they weren't saying, you know, like you should have a mask on. Nobody, it wasn't like, these weren't people like we, you know, that were anti-maskers or anything like that. They were just saying, I mean, like nobody, it wasn't a thing over here yet, you know, like people weren't wearing masks. It wasn't mandated. You didn't have to wear a mask. And then I remember when we came back, just, what was that, 4 days later, it was like I started to notice that more people in the airport had masks on. And then, you know, we got home and it was like 2 weeks later, the whole world had changed. It's crazy to think about all that, you know? I was gonna look up that story about what happened last night, but I'm coming up on Meridian, and if you take Meridian and you turn left, we're about 20 minutes. We're about 20 minutes north, 20, maybe 25, 30 minutes north of where that happened last night. But what's really weird about Indianapolis is, so Indianapolis is on a grid, so you really can never get lost in Indianapolis because everything is like east, west, north, south. So like if you turn left, you just continue to come into a circle if you like made like left. And then the other thing is like I-465, which is our interstate. Like if you get on, I should do this some night for a vlog just to show it, it's so funny. You can get on I-465, like I could go right down here. Do you guys want to see instead of me? I'll go do this right now, so. So anyway, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is so stupid. But anyway, so here's Meridian. This is like the major street in Indianapolis that splits everything. It splits everything east and west because this goes north and south. So you can literally take Meridian all the way. This turns into 31, old 31. You can take this all the way past Indianapolis, into like Carmel, into Noblesville, into Westfield, and then it'll go into like Kokomo, Indiana, and it'll go north, all the way to northern Indiana, okay? You can take this all the way, and it'll take you all the way south, too. And, like, it'll take you all the way through the circle, down to, I mean, it goes, you can take it from the north all the way, it would take you forever to do that, right? Isn't that crazy? I know not all streets are like, or all cities are like that, so... It's like you literally cannot... Did I ever tell you the story about Kurt Vonnegut, my friend and I call him? Okay, so you like literally cannot get lost in Indianapolis. And then all the major streets are like Capitol, you know, Pennsylvania, Illinois, all these streets go like this. And then this way it goes like we're coming up on 96th Street, 86th Street, 75th, what's the next one? Was 79th Street, so anyway, you like... It counts off and you can't, you know, get lost. Anyway, my first boyfriend, Jack, not really my first boyfriend. I have several first boyfriends, as you can see. But anyway, Jack, that I talk about on here a lot, that I was like, Peter. So he worked for this magazine, because he was a painter and a photographer and stuff. He worked, my aunt loved this restaurant over here. It's called Daddy Jack's. Alex goes there sometimes. But anyway, I think we got like a gift certificate there. So here is 465, and you can get on it west and go that way, or you can get on it east, which I'm doing right now, and go this way, okay? And if you get on it and you go east, that's where the pageant headquarters were, by the way. This little Drury Inn. It's a really nice hotel right here. Had a beautiful restaurant and bar and stuff in it. But anyway, so here you are, I'm on the interstate, and now if I get on here, if I just kept on driving this for like the next hour, it probably would take me less than that, I think. I would be right back here. All I'd have to do is just stay on this. Isn't that crazy? It just is a total circle around Indianapolis. You guys are like, why is that interesting or exciting? I don't know, I just think it is. But anyway, so I've told this story before, but my first boyfriend, Jack, he worked at Arts Indiana, which was like this arts magazine here in Indianapolis. And I think Kurt Vonnegut, because Kurt Vonnegut's from Indianapolis, was on the board of directors. And we were sitting there one night, this was before I got sober, and it was Jack and myself, and then we had a friend in common. So Jack's best friend was this girl that I'm still friends with today. And she had been friends with Jack for like 2 years. And then I met her. I didn't meet her through Jack, I don't think. I can't remember. How did I meet her? We all kind of like just hung out one night. I don't remember. Maybe I met her and Jack the same night. I don't remember. But anyway, I hung out a lot with her and her boyfriend that summer too. But anyway, so, and she and I are still friends to this day. But like, he lived with her when he was like, he passed away. I can't remember. He had some kind of like rare disease. I don't remember what it was. It was like a degenerative disease. But anyway, we were sitting around my apartment one night. It was just the three of us, and we were drinking. She used to always love that Manischewitz wine. She was my friend that drank that wine. And we were sitting there, that Manischewitz, that like Jewish wine, you know what I'm talking about? You can get it for like $3 at the grocery store. We had to go in the grocery store into like, you know, it wasn't even in like the liquor section. It was like sold like where they would sell like, you know, kosher food and stuff like that to get it. And I think that's where it was. I remember this one grocery store by us. It was a Marsh by my apartment that we went in there and got it. And it used to taste like, it was kind of like grape tasting, but sweeter than that. She loved it. I do remember it got you real drunk. Anyway, I knew this girl one time. She was obsessed with that Wild Irish Rose. Do you guys remember that? Ugh. Anyway, so we were sitting there and Jack was like, I have Kurt Vonnegut's number. We're like, what? He was like, I have Kurt Vonnegut's number. I wrote it down from Arts Indiana. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, we should call. And I remember none of us wanted to call. And so like they made me do it. And I was drunk. And so we called, and I have like this one of those phones you could like, you know, push the buttons, and it wasn't, we didn't have cell phones back in the day, boys and girls. This was, you know, the rotary phones. But I had the one where you could like put it on speakerphone. I had all the fancy buttons, you know, and the voicemail and all that kind of stuff. Do you remember like trying to put music on your voicemail and stuff? Like in the background you'd play, oh my gosh, takes me back. But anyway, I actually did have a phone in my apartment that sat on the kitchen counter, and it literally had a cord that was, I was like obsessed with those cords that were so long, that were like, you know, 50 miles long, that you could just like wrap around forever. But anyway, and I would like walk into like through the kitchen into the bedroom and whatever I was talking on that phone. We could have cordless phones too, but I don't think I had a cordless phone. Cordless phones never worked very well. And one time when I was like growing up, we had a cordless phone at my mom's house, and no, I think she actually, this was on the rotary phone. But this is why my mom did not like cordless phones. She picked up the phone in like our porch. She was like going to make a phone call, and it was like these people that lived on our street, and the woman was talking to her son, and she was, I think he even like, I think she told me later that like he was coming out to her on the phone or something. I think she told me that like years later. I could be completely wrong, but she was like, don't ever tell anybody anything on the phone that you don't want them to know, because other people can listen into your conversations. My mother swore that her whole life. So anyway, I was kind of always weird about cordless phones. I didn't like cordless phones, and they never really worked that well anyway, and they always had to be charged. So, but we were there, and I like put him on a speakerphone, and I was like, he was like, hello? And I was like, is this Kurt? And he was like, yeah. I was like, this is Kurt. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, it's Peter from Indianapolis. And we're like laughing, dying, right? Drunk. And he goes, Peter from Indianapolis? Or something like, I can't remember how it went. But anyway, I ended up he's like, what do you want? And then there was like, his wife was in the background. She's like, who is it? He's like, somebody said they're from Indianapolis or something like that. And she's like, what do they want? He goes, I don't know. What do you want? You guys, it was like priceless, okay? And this was my one claim to fame of like, or my one encounter with fame was talking to Kurt Vonnegut. And so he's like, I'm like, so I'm looking at my friends, I'm like, I didn't know what to ask him. They're like, and I go, so you're from Indianapolis? And he's like, yeah. And I go, how do you get from like Indianapolis, or how do you get from like Meridian to like Capital? I asked him some dumb question, like, because I was like, I'm lost or whatever. He goes, you're in Indianapolis and you don't know how to get from Meridian to Capital? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, who is that? Or something like that. We ended up hanging up or something. I can't remember what happened with the end of it, but it was so funny. I'll have to ask my friend, because I don't remember how that ended, but it was so funny. Isn't that so funny? You're like, no, it's stupid. Oh my gosh. I'm like sitting here thinking, did I ever meet any other celebrities? Like, seriously? My friend got this, okay, this was kind of weird. My friend got this, I always forget this when I talk about celebrities I've met. My friend got this VIP. So you know that thing that I went to with Melissa a couple years ago, that Whorehound Weekend or whatever? So they always have like a guest cast, right, from some movie. Well, we have a friend of ours that's like richer than God, and she was visiting from out of town, and she like booked out half of this club, and it was Whorehound Weekend, and people were trying to get these sections in these clubs, and she came in and she like she's like, no, I mean, these are just for my friends, and bottle service and all this kind of stuff. So these people that she didn't really know very well, but Alex and I did, and they were real nice. It was like this couple, they were like hosting a celebrity. And so they had like called us, and my friend was like real put out by it. She was like, she's hilarious and she's very nice, but she was like, I don't really care who it is, who's famous. She had no clue who he was. But they come waltzing in with Corey Feldman, yeah. And he had like the leather jacket on and the sunglasses and the glove and all that kind of stuff. And I sat right next to him. You guys, it was weird. He looks old as hell. Well, he did then. It was a couple years ago. He didn't say like literally one word. I said, oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Peter. And he was like, I'm Corey. And that was like it. That was like our conversation. He just like, but he sat like literally like our legs touched for like an hour. And my friend was so over it. And I remember she was standing up there and she had had a couple drinks, and these people were like, you know, Corey this and Corey that. And she's like, who? And she's like, I remember my friend looked at him and she's like, y'all are a bunch of grenades. She's like, just destroying my good time. I don't know this Corey person. She was so over it. And he was just like sitting there real quietly, like watching it all going on, probably like, get me home and out of this. I don't want to be in this bar. But I think he was there for the Lost Boys because he was in the movie The Lost Boys, because I think Jason Patric was there that weekend too. And Corey Haim had passed away, I believe, at that time. So I loved that movie, The Lost Boys, when I was growing up. Oh, thou shalt not kill. Did you guys ever see that? Oh, and Jamie Gertz, she was so good in that movie. I loved her in Less Than Zero, too. Have I met anybody else? Oh, Jay Leno, I tried to get his autograph at Fridays during the race one week, and he was so rude. I was just telling Alex that story the other day. Did I mention that on here? That must be why I told him. Who else have we... Alex is completely not fazed by meeting celebrities, but he's completely fazed by meeting DJs, which is so hilarious to me. Who else have I met? Do not ever sit in a restaurant with me and say like, oh, so-and-so sitting over there, but don't look, because I will turn around with quickness and look. That's happened to us quite a few times. We've been to a restaurant or something and somebody's there. Ariana Grande, Frankie Grande, we saw them at Ultra Music Festival. They were like 10 feet in front of us. She is super, super tiny and absolutely every 100% a bit adorable as she is when you see her picture. She is so cute. And she had like all these bodyguards around her and she had the little ears on and stuff. This was back in the day. Paris Hilton, I met. Well, I didn't meet her. She walked through the VIP section. I was like, hi, Paris. And Brian Boy, the fashion blogger, we hung out with him at Ultra. He was so nice. He is so funny. He now has his own TikTok, and he's like getting super famous off of it, and it's hilarious. He's a really, really nice guy. I guess I really haven't met that many famous people. I feel like there's like one big story and I always forget it. Like that's always how I feel whenever I'm talking about like meeting celebrities. There's always like that one big story. Oh, by the way, I just passed where I turned to go to the interstate. We literally did a whole loop in 5 minutes. I feel like there's somebody that I always forget that I met and I can never remember who it is. My dad and my stepmom, they're like into sculpting. They did this sculpting class in Santa Fe. It was like this sculpting retreat for a week. It was like 5 couples out in the middle of nowhere, and they love Santa Fe, New Mexico. And Martin Sheen and his wife were there. And they were like one of the 5 couples, and they ate dinner every night and got to know them really well and got really friendly with them. My dad said he was like, he and his wife were both like super, super nice. Somebody else that I've met. Who are people that you guys have met? Who are celebrities that you guys have met? Well, when I went to Whorehound Weekend, I got it on film, but he's so cute in person. Is what's David Arquette? Is that his name? Oh my God, hubba hubba. He is so cute in person, you guys. And Nev Campbell looks exactly in person like she does then. That was kind of fun walking around. I mean, I love to like, you know, see the celebrities and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. I was actually watching the Madonna thing at the Super Bowl because whoever she stayed with here in town, somebody, I didn't even know this till like a year or two later, that she had stayed at these people's house that we kind of like know indirectly, which I thought was like so weird. I just looked over, I thought it had stopped. Which I thought was so weird that we kind of like knew an indirect connection to like where she stayed and whatever. But I was watching her Super Bowl performance from when she was in Indianapolis. We were like 2 feet away from Katy Perry. We also met the guy that was from Revenge. That was at the Direct TV party. There were a lot of celebrities there. I forgot about that. Neil Patrick Harris and his husband kind of like in a weird way hit on my husband, which I thought was weird. But I've told that story a million times. And that one from, what's that show, Jersey Shore, I always think that it was JWoww that I met, but I guess it was the other one. Why can't I think of her name? She was doing something with Australian Gold, which was here. That DirecTV party was fun, and that was so much fun for the Super Bowl. But anyway, I was watching that Madonna like halftime Super Bowl thing, because that's where I sang in my drama video today, Like a Prayer. And I was watching it, I was like, you know, man, for like her age at the time, I mean, she performed her butt off. That was a really cool halftime performance, didn't you think? Did you guys watch it? Where am I at on time? Oh my God, have I been vlogging for like an hour and a half? Again, and I said it was gonna be short. Okay, I gotta get off here so I can listen to some of my book. I'm never gonna get my books done this month. I've slowed down so much because I've been vlogging and just nothing, I guess. Like Jackie said when they were trying to come up with a name for the lunch box, I always forget what it was called, the lunch box on Roseanne. She's like, I got nothing. Oh, just nothing, I guess. What movie is she like? Oh, I think it's, did you ever see Crimes of the Heart with Diane Keaton and Sissy Spacek and what's her face? Oh God, why can't I think of her name? American Horror Story. She's in all those movies. Oh my God, she's like my favorite actress of life. Why can't I think of her? Everybody talks about her now, but they don't ever talk about her like in Cape Fear or Crimes of the Heart or Blue Sky. And I can't even think of her name right now. And back in the day, she was in King Kong. Why can't I not think of her name? She's married Sam Shepard. They have kids together. I cannot believe this. I cannot think of her name. You guys, I'm like literally, I'm believing I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. Like, I'm forgetting things slowly. I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to sit here until I remember it. I said I was going to stay on here until I remember what her name was, and the weirdest thing happened is that all of a sudden the camera just completely just like turned off and shut itself down. It was the weirdest thing. I don't think it's maybe done that one other time. Now my Sony used to do that, but I don't think it's ever done that before. It's the weirdest thing. It's super, super hot because I've been vlogging for so long, but you know what? I did remember her name, and it's Jessica Lange. So anyway, is that the weirdest thing though? All of a sudden it just like, I heard it like go, zzz, zzz. It was like, it just closed up. It was the weirdest thing. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here now because I'm gonna go listen to my book, Saint X. Are you reading it along with me for the book club? Please let me know. I hope that you are. I hope that you are enjoying it if you're reading it. I think it's pretty good. And happy Monday. Like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, but like I also always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do, and we're going to put some nice energy out there and positive, good energy out there in the world. Most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. I swear to God, it was just like really, really fuzzy a second ago. I need to clean off my windows and stuff. I think it'll be, you know, better if I do. But most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. I hope you have an amazing Monday. I hope you have an amazing start to your week. Are you rejuvenated from yesterday? How many of you watched the very end to that silliness? Anyway, yeah, let's put some goodness, kindness. Let's put some kindness, love, compassion. Well, like it says in the 4 agreements, let's always lead with love. Let's put some love, kindness, compassion, goodness, caring, understanding, forgiveness, tolerance, hope, peace, serenity, and of course grace out there in the world. And let's treat each other just a little bit nicer today. Let's try to be a little bit more loving to one another and just do one really nice thing for somebody else today, and then maybe we're changing somebody's day that way, which, you know, we can maybe make the world a little bit more positive place. At least I know I'm an idealist, but I like to think that way. So anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!